Why is your phone? Why is your internet like that?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, I'll be back. I got to share it to my Facebook.
Is it live yet? Does it say live?
It is live.
And now I think I see it.
Perfect.
Hold on. Let's see. Ooh, I'm having technical difficulty. Did I freeze?
That's nothing.
No.
That's nothing new.
I know. Hold on. Let's see. All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing this morning? It's Friday. Woo-hoo.
It's Friday.
It doesn't feel like Friday.
That's because we've been home for like ever.
It really doesn't feel like Friday.
Who's going stir crazy?
Is she frozen?
I think so. I don't understand why her internet is so slow. I wonder what speed internet she has at the house.
At FiOS, you have I don't think you choose a speed.
But but you can get what, 75 over 100 or 50 over 50 or 100 over 100.
Am I frozen?
Throttles.
We don't see you, G.
All right. I'm gonna give me 1 second.
Oh, we see you.
I'm gonna switch over.
Okay.
Live now. Share. All right, hang on. I'm gonna switch to my phone. So give me 1 second. And you guys will, Zach, why don't you kick it off and tell everyone what we're doing and all that other good stuff.
All right, cool. So today it is all about, and I'm sorry, I'm moving around. I'm trying to locate my laptop charger. But today is all about buyers and assisting buyers in today's crazy climate, I guess you could say. We upload all of these videos on YouTube. So check our YouTube out. Be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell so you get notified when we upload any new content. You can find us on YouTube at Give Back Team. Or if you go to our website, at the bottom of the page, there's a link to our YouTube channel. So just make sure you do that.
What's our website address, Zach?
GiveBackTeam.com. And I found my laptop charger, so I'm going to leave my comfy little room.
Am I in?
You're here.
You're in.
Woohoo! I made
Finally.
it.
So I don't understand why your internet is so slow, because you're sitting right by the router.
I am sitting literally right by the router.
What speed do you have?
You know what? I got turtle speed. That's what I like to talk about it. It's turtle speed with Verizon FiOS. I live in North Stafford. I live very close to everything. I am on like 4+ acres of land, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't have decent connectivity. But sometimes
Call Verizon and get a service tech out there to see what the issue is.
I've been telling her all for the last 2 weeks, call Verizon.
you know what? It's also because everyone in my house is on, and all that other stuff. So
FiOS isn't supposed to have a threshold like that, though.
Yeah, exactly. Are you doing dishes?
I'm putting dishes in the dishwasher that were in the sink because you know how I feel about that.
Right.
So, okay, so we're going to have a guest. Are we having a guest on today, Zach?
We are having a guest on. He is assisting clients as well right now, but he will be jumping on here anytime.
Okay, cool. So the conversation today is really going to be buyer centric. And I know in the last couple of, lives that we've talked about buyers and what's going on with buyers now. But as most of you know, I do more of the listing side, although I work with buyers. And AJ does more of the buyer side, but he also does listings too.
Do you work?
I've been up since 6:30, my friend.
Word.
You look like you're still in bed. So
No, I just got off the treadmill.
So, well, I'll just tell you as a complete aside, one of my sorority sisters from my college days.
Oh, you had to pay for your friends?
Nope.
That's what my sister did. She for her friends.
Nope. But so she actually runs a gym, like she does classes, and they're bar classes, and I've never done one. I think Melissa's joining us, but I've never done one before. And she's in our Facebook group, The Human Connection, and she posted yesterday, "Hey, join me. I'll send you a Zoom link." And so I got up this morning and I did the workout with her and all of her like friends and I guess other people that work out at the gym. And it was so much fun. And you know what? Without weights and doing bar A, I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
Are you starting a new profession there?
I don't know, but it was hard. I was sweaty. Like I have a tank top on underneath this. I just threw this shirt on because I just finished the workout before, like a little before the call. So, but I didn't look like I was very well dressed with just a tank top on. So I figured I'd throw this on. But
Right.
yeah, so it's good though that everyone should be, just as a side note, everyone should be getting a workout in or getting outside or walking or doing something just so that you're not going completely stir crazy, right?
I tell you, everyone in the afternoon is like literally with their kids walking the neighborhoods, and it actually reminds me of the '90s when kids were outside playing and like parents were outside doing yard work. That's what we are missing.
Yeah, I agree. So we're gonna have forced family lawn care weekend. So we'll be cutting the grass and weeding the flower beds because I think it's supposed to be really nice. It's beautiful outside today. I might actually step outside for part of this call. What?
I said, I'm so glad I'm not in your family.
Well,
Right,
we do
have a grill film for nothing.
We probably have about 2 acres of land that have to be cut. So, my property's big.
Hold on, I want to know what Taylor's gonna do. I'm not even worried about Cole.
She likes riding the giant like 0-turn tractor. So
the one you almost messed up.
I have messed that up. I've run over rocks. I mean, it's I take it over cliffs. I do my thing with it. I try. I don't do it on purpose.
My Roomba goes over cliffs in my house, apparently.
Yeah, you get like the notes that Roomba's falling off or something, or Roomba's at a 9-foot cliff, or you get all kinds of stuff.
Hey, are you making me breakfast, Zach?
So do you know what I actually found the other day? I went to Weiss. I have not been able to find these bagels for like 3 weeks. This was the last one that they had.
Is it blueberry?
Thomas Blueberry Bagels, yes.
Ooh, Thomas, huh?
Cole loves a blueberry bagel. He's a blueberry bagel kind of guy.
You froze.
I froze?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And you freeze in the most awkward facial expressions.
Let me give you a few. You ready?
What's up,
Melissa?
What's up, guys?
Hey, wait, I want you all to say good morning to my dog. My dog Jersey just came to visit me in the office. Say good morning.
Hey, Jersey
Hi, Jersey. Can you see her?
Yep.
Hey, Jersey girl.
She's my baby. She's my baby. How you doing, Melissa?
Oh, I'm all right.
Just all right.
Yeah. Dealing with mom issues back in New York with all this, so
Uh-oh.
trying to avoid getting in a car right now,
Come on,
but
girl. Come on.
we'll see.
Well, my husband's all the way up in Connecticut now helping his parents, and not probably the thing that I'd prefer him to do, but when our family needs help, you gotta have to help somehow if they don't have anyone there, so
Well, I'm thinking
come on, puppy.
possibly,
Hold on.
possibly, I don't know. I can do everything I'm doing from here there other than work-wise I can, but not family.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
gonna keep these hoodlums in check?
Well, for those of you who don't know, right now Melissa is in quarantine with 4 teenagers and a husband and a couple dogs.
Right, and
So.
and it's funny because this house is stocked, honestly, if the apocalypse came, I could be sufficient for a couple months, but I go to bed at night, wake up in the morning, and my perfectly clean kitchen has been mutilated, and there are less and less the chicken nugget stack,
Yeah.
like the fresh Purdue.
Yep. Ooh, there's something flying around me. Well, I kind of have that too, except mine is usually the Nutella jar is left out, and there's usually like a spoon with lots of Nutella, like you can tell someone ate it, like
Right
did
out the
this and then,
jar.
yeah. I mean, they know not to double dip, especially now, but so then I will find maybe like 4 spoons to one person because it's 1 spoon, and then we grab a new spoon. So yeah, I usually find the Nutella jar.
At least your kids leave the jar. Mine just take it. No, they take the whole jar, right? And then they take Oreos and dip it in the jar. And
Oh yeah, that's good.
now the
I do
jars
that.
are just in their room. No.
Well, that's maybe the thing. Maybe everyone gets a jar. Like you just put their name on it and then that's theirs and then that's it, right? I
They
mean,
have refrigerators in their rooms, but I will say that beverages are under lockdown. They are in the basement refrigerator, and I had Jim put a deadbolt on it.
Seriously?
Oh, I'm dead serious. Dead
Why?
serious, because I literally spent $150 just on beverage delivery the other day. And I give the maggots their stuff because they have fridges in their rooms. So they take their stuff that I buy and bring it to their rooms, and then the rest goes to the distribution center in the basement. And it's locked up because God forbid one of us gets the vid-19. Someone's probably going to want a ginger ale or a Gatorade. Do you think?
yeah, I know. I've stashed away a couple of like the Gatorades, the Sprites, the ginger ales, in case anybody's not feeling good. So I did the same thing. Smart.
So the basement fridge is off limits. They each have their stuff. But like in my closet, no, my closet is filled with toilet paper, paper towels, and then all the really, really, really sought after junk food.
Yep.
Oreos, chips, candy bars. That's all locked up. That's like,
that sounds like what Zach bought to prepare.
I will tell you that we went to Costco yesterday. There was nobody in there. There's nobody at all. Nobody.
But
no?
they're still wiping down the carts and stuff, right? I mean,
There was just nobody in there. Nobody.
Did you get it? Did they have toilet paper or anything?
They didn't have
No.
toilet paper. They're out of everything, but there was nobody in there because, well, they don't have anything. But I will say, you're talking about Nutella. So he bought me these. I don't know if you've ever had these before. They're delicious.
Melissa, don't you have those, or is it Melissa G?
No.
I can't hear you, G.
What?
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Yeah,
Now
now
we
I
can.
can.
Oh, sorry. I said you
This
guys
stud
forget
muffin.
I lived in Europe, so those were like 5 cents.
They're so good.
They're really good. They're really good. So, okay, so we were going to have a guest on, but I'm not sure if the guest is going to be able to jump on because of business moving forward, right? Is that probably what we're at, Zach?
Yeah, he's expected anytime this entire time.
Okay. So, Zach, why don't you kick it off with AJ and Melissa, because what the topic is, we do have a topic for each one of these. And again, I know Zach mentioned it, but we're going to post these on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see this video again or any other video that we've done, last week we went for 4 days. This week we're going to go for, we were going 4 days this week too. But next week we're going to come to you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11. So 11 to probably 12. And we'll have a topic every day that's relative to real estate. You'll hear some of our chicanery too, and what's going on in our world. So feel free to ask us any questions about real estate, anything going on in the Northern Virginia market, as well as if you want to find out about how our stashes of Oreos and stuff are going too, because we're happy to share. So
I got stash of pizza if anybody wants pizza.
Wait a
Pizza
minute, wait a
rolls,
minute.
French bread pizza.
Pizza
wait a
roll.
minute.
5 bags of the big pizza roll. 5 bags of the family
Yeah.
size. Listen to what I'm saying. Gone.
What?
But I think Zach was the one that was supposed to be dropping the Benny's pizza on everyone's back porch, but I don't know.
Benny's pizza right here, frozen.
Hold on. I might actually take a ride out to Fredericksburg and get Benny's pizza.
Let me know if
So-
you're coming down this
Dude,
way.
if you do that, let me know. I want you to drop a pizza.
See, you
All
and
right,
G
Zach,
live
so-
like too far out. That's the problem.
Mhm.
She's further out. But if you're gonna hit me, you can hit her.
I can drive to a designated location and you can throw it in my car. And
We'll open our
then
trunks.
Hey, Zach, so you want to meet at like 1:30 ish?
You're not supposed to meet though. You're
No,
supposed
no.
to be
What?
distant.
Not meet, but like social distancing, 6 feet apart.
I would do that.
We'll see.
1:30.
We
Benny's
could meet
1:30.
in downtown Fredericksburg and socially distance and pick up pizzas.
There's
Let's do it. 1:30. 1:30.
Let me
Is
see how my
late.
schedule is going.
Yeah.
But Zach, why don't we start talking about the buyer stuff, because I don't want to lose
Hold on, we
track
have
of
more
time.
important to do. It's Friday. Done working. I don't work Fridays. That's a joke.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's pizza time.
So with buyers, so let's talk about that. So before the virus hit us head on, the way that it did, we were running with buyers nonstop. Melissa and AJ, you were out almost every single day showing homes.
Correct.
And what you were finding was, putting in offers, you were going above list price. Sometimes you were waiving home inspections. Sometimes you were seeing waived appraisals. I know, Melissa, you had a client that asked you to do that. It was crazy. It was a crazy time if you were a buyer trying to find a home. I mean, you had to write on it the second that it went active, or for sale. So how has that changed to now? AJ, I'll let you start.
So I don't think that's so. I still have several buyers that haven't found their forever home or their starter home, or those that are exploring the option of buying versus renting because it's actually cheaper to buy. So I don't think it's really slowed down for me. It's just that the inventory is still relatively very low, and so they're having a difficult time finding something that suits their needs. And if something does come on the market that suits their needs, to your point, Zach, you really have to write on it before it even hits the market, sight unseen, and or well, especially with our agency, since we have so many agents, we actually send out an email prior saying, "Hey, I have this coming up soon. If you have a buyer," so we try and get in there before it actually hits the MLS and or the market for that sake, if the seller allows us.
Right.
It's been very competitive. The market has not slowed down, and I think our CEO and president sent out an email today showing us a graph about how the housing market is really still on the rise. Steady growth is healthy growth. So I think it's still a very strong market. We need houses to sell. We've got buyers. I need someone in Austin Ridge to sell their house like now. Just putting that plug in there. Like my buyer is getting frustrated because like nothing's coming on the market and whatever it is. I mean, we've put in 4 offers like above list, waived certain. I mean, and it's just not clicking. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to tell everyone to stay patient. So it doesn't matter what price point. Honestly, I've seen high dollar price houses go for multiple offers over list. So it doesn't matter what price range you're in. It's just we're in a busy market.
Cool. Awesome. So to caveat off of that, Melissa, for those people who haven't bought in the past, let's say 2 years with the market the way it is now versus the way it's been in the past, I come to you and I'm a buyer, and of course everybody wants a good deal, right? So I see a sticker price on a home for $350, and I say, let's cut it. Let's go to $345. That's not how things are working these days. Can you explain a little bit about that, Melissa?
No, extremely low inventory on the market. And it's like going to buy a car. You want that good deal, you want money off, and you want them to give you a great price on your trade. Nope. Houses are selling for top dollar. They're not giving seller subsidy unless you're GBT favorite agent and can finesse. I can still get you seller subsidy if you work with me.
Hey, on that note, Melissa, not to cut you off, I have a buyer that's under contract. Got them the full 3% and $5,000 off their sales price. Home inspection items all taken care of. The whole 9.
That's amazing. In this market, that's really good, AJ. That's really good.
So yesterday, my ratified contract, we did go in at full price. Well, we didn't go in at full price. We went in below, but blah, blah, blah. we ended up full price, but got the 3%, everything intact. So that was a home run in this market, honestly.
Absolutely. That's good job on that.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
I just sent that to everyone. So,
Good job.
so 29 to go.
Melissa has a countdown for how many houses how many clients she's helping and how many houses she's going to close this year. She's actually been rocking and rolling. I mean,
He has.
I think
Freaking
the whole
phenomenal.
team has, though. I mean, we've all been quite busy.
Stop for the past couple days here.
Yeah.
I'm going like stir crazy, but I've been in front of this computer nonstop. And it actually went to Costco with me yesterday.
Well,
So-
it's a collective team goal. I mean, I know I look at my numbers, but I want my numbers to reflect what we're doing as a team, because some months I might do better than AJ, and most months he's going to do better than me. So
No, don't give me all the credit. You're doing a phenomenal job. Keep it up.
I know
I got a lot of catching up to do.
you know as well as I do, the sun has to shine on the dogs.
Tushy.
All right. So
I'll have her moment.
to go back to Zach's question, some buyers still want that good deal, like Melissa was saying, but unfortunately, the market that we're in with the low inventory, you do have to go in with your best foot forward. And that's something that you can contact Melissa and I about, and we can go over an offer strategy, because there's definitely a strategy when making an offer, and we take a lot of things into consideration when we recommend what we think would be what's the word I'm looking for? A good offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we have worked on both sides of the fence. We've worked with sellers and we've worked with buyers, so we understand. We put ourselves in both shoes, and then we present what we think is a good offer.
And so to piggyback off of that, if I were to buy a house, or if I was a buyer to come to you, I would be a little bit reluctant in maybe your recommendation to put my best foot forward, just because of what, everybody wants a good deal. Everyone wants to not pay what the list price of the home is. But in not doing that, we have found that our clients, that haven't necessarily taken, I mean, even on the seller side, Ginger, the clients who haven't really done what we recommended have, on the seller side, sat on the market a little bit longer. Or in AJ and Melissa's case, if you've had buyers that you've recommended go in at full list and not ask for seller subsidy or what have you, they're missing out on some of these homes that are perfect for them, unfortunately, because they haven't taken your advice and going with your, the best foot forward. I know if I was a buyer putting an offer in on the home, I wouldn't want to put all my cards out on the table. But in the market that we're in, and we're putting cards out all on the table the first go run, and that's what's winning.
Right, and
So
that's
Zach
what's winning. Sorry, go ahead, G.
I was just going to say, so Zach sees all, he's our director of chaos. We jokingly tongue in cheek say, but so he's processing and helping us, with all of our contracts with the buyers and the sellers. So he's kind of seeing the big picture from.
We lost you, G.
You lost me because I just got a spam phone call and I had to decline.
Orlando, Florida.
It said spam risk. And I was like, yeah, no. But anyway, so Zach's seeing the big picture of, what, like when I'm listing something, what I'm listing it at and where it's going under contract. And same thing with the buyers, that when, we're successful with getting the buyers under contract, but there's a giant bee zipping around my head. So if I start like ducking and covering, that would be why. I'm not crazy. But so I would say that, we're in Northern Virginia, we're in the Northern Virginia market for someone that's watching this, and every market is different. However, just generally speaking, for us, what we're finding is that if homes are priced well and they show well, they're going to sell, and they'll sell quickly. Even if they don't show well, as long as they're priced appropriately for how they present, they're selling, and they're selling quickly. With a lot of cases, what you'll find is that when I list a property, I'm listing it not usually at the very top end, because we want to give the opportunity to get the best deal for the client, for the seller. And what that's doing with with the buyers you're seeing is that they're having to go in.
They need to call you for all of that good consultation. You can't give away your goodies on TV.
No, well, I mean, it's just general. I mean, I have a lot of strategic things that I do with how I price and market a house. It's not all that easy. But, it's just generally speaking, for the buyers, when they're seeing something that looks good, like if you're shopping online and you're finding a house and it's listed at, 350,000 when everything else is selling for more, you're probably not going to get it for 350,000 or even maybe 340. You might be getting it for, I don't know, 365 and not getting any seller subsidy. So, just as a cautionary thing for buyers that are out there, because a lot of people are online now and they're looking, just contact your agent, contact us, contact Melissa, contact AJ. They'll guide you through the process. But, everyone is looking for a good deal, but just know that it's a competitive market. And again, if it's priced well and it shows well, it's going to sell, and possibly in a lot of cases that we're seeing, it's going to go over the list price, or you might not get that seller subsidy, the 3% in closing cost assistance, or maybe a lot less of it, or waiving an appraisal or waiving a home inspection. There's a lot of different things that are happening in our market right now.
Here's my question, right? And this is probably a very broad question. What is considered a good deal in this market? Is it getting the house getting the house under contract, or is it getting the home inspection done? I mean, it's all up to perception as to what a good deal is.
Right.
In my eyes, right?
I agree with you. I mean, I think if you find a house and someone says, this is where I want to be, this is the place that's going to make me happy, this is the place that I want to call home,
then that's a good deal.
Right. Then whatever you can work out that obviously you have to comfortably afford. We don't want you not eating in your kitchen. Right. But, whatever it is that you can comfortably afford, and whatever, you agree to is the best deal. You know what I mean? I think some people are willing to pay more for something because it's the one that they really want,
Okay.
That's not necessarily for every person though. Like, I know, Melissa, you just had a client that you wrote on an offer, they didn't get it, and they wrote high, but now they're under contract for something else and they love it just as much. I mean, didn't that just happen with one of your buyers this week?
Well, this is my take on things, okay? And I honestly feel that some agents, I'm not saying all, some agents don't do this. If I'm writing on a property and I feel like I am coloring outside of the lines, where if I was buying that home, I would feel like I didn't get a good deal, then it needs to shut off. I mean, you're only gonna pay so much for something, and put it in simple forms. How much are you gonna pay for a roll of toilet paper? You're only gonna pay
at this point $100.
Well, you're only gonna pay so much. So when I tell my clients we have put our best foot forward and they come back wanting more, that sale is going to only hold so much, where I feel okay with proceeding. If I put my best foot forward, if I don't feel good about a deal, then I haven't done my job. Then there's another house.
And I agree, because to your point, we haven't waived, none of you so far have waived an appraisal. And so
I will never recommend to any of my clients to do that, just because I have to sleep with that at night.
Right. And so, some people will still do an appraisal just for information, but it depends on and it does depend on the loan and everything else, but most people will not waive an appraisal. But in our highly, highly competitive areas of Northern Virginia, more, I think in Fairfax County, we're seeing waiving of appraisals, and it's going to tens of thousands, possibly over the list price, which, maybe that is the one house that they must have, or the only house that's come up in a community that someone's looked for that community for a while, or, in those situations, I mean, that's maybe the consideration for someone to waive it. But to Melissa's point, you could go $50,000 over, but it's still only going to hold so much value. And our goal is to always make sure for our clients, whether we're selling or buying, that they're getting the best deal that they possibly can, and that it's reasonable also. I mean, I think that's really what Melissa's big point is that it's got to be a good deal and reasonable for them.
Right. And then you also have to.
I just refuse to. If I write a contract and I don't feel like, wow, that's okay. I don't feel like I don't know. I don't,
Well,
I mean,
you're good at
yeah,
advising your clients. I mean, ultimately the client is the decision maker. I mean, we do what they say, and so what Zach was saying too with there's a bunch of squirrels, literally squirrel running all over the yard here. But to what Zach was saying with even sellers, we give a recommendation. I mean, that's what we do as realtors, as agents, as advisors to our clients. We'll give recommendations, and then it is up to our client to either take our recommendation or not. And even with listing, what we're finding is that if homes are listed not at the very top, but more in the middle of a range, that those are actually more successfully going under contract faster and for a better deal for the seller potentially. So that's where the buyer side tends to be more aggressive in their offers, where they're maybe not doing the home inspection, or they're doing it for void purposes only, or they're kind of stripping some stuff back, and it is going over, in most cases, the list price. So here's a question for you guys now with regards to now everything's changed. We're going very virtual, and I know we've been talking about this since we've gone virtual 2 weeks ago. So Melissa, how is it different working with a buyer right now, working in a virtual world? Because you're not physically showing houses right now. Let's take the one that you just did, the buyer that you just did, because you partnered with the other agent. So why don't you talk about how you were able to have your client see a house?
I'm writing on this house personally, sight unseen. My client has seen the house. The other agent showed the house. And I told my client, there were certain pictures that didn't show certain things. I said, these are the things I want to see. Mm-hmm. So he took pictures of exterior things that I wanted to see to know better picture of the home. And the agent was able to send further information so that I had an idea of what was going on. Mm-hmm. So now we are ratified on this contract moving forward, and the home inspector is going in on Monday. He's going in alone. He's not going in with myself or the client. And I just asked that a very thorough inspection was done and a teleconference was done with my client to go over it. And this is a 2018 build, so I'm not too concerned about things, but you never know what you're going to find. So everything is just being done virtually. I had a final walkthrough yesterday with a brand new build. The builder met my client and spent 3 hours with him going over the home, which was nice. I was not there, but I told my client these were the things that needed to be repaired. I sent them the list. I said, you need to check all these things thoroughly. If there's a problem, call me. And he was so thankful for sending him all the information. But I mean, it's just letting everyone know what your expectations are to be done, who is representing you at these places, because I can't physically be there to do it. I mean, the more people in the place at the same time, it's causing issues. But we have a lot of great people that work for us, our home inspectors and whatnot, who are going up and beyond to make sure our eyes are there in a way.
Well, and I just had a buyer close yesterday, and we had an interesting thing because we have a post occupancy agreement. The seller, that means the seller's staying in the house a little bit longer past the sale. And so the seller, I asked that the seller leave all of the lights on, keep all of the doors open. So even the closet door, like it could be just, bumped open with an elbow as opposed to touching with a hand. And what I did was to minimize people in the house was they exited. About an hour later, we entered. Actually, I didn't even enter. I opened the door. Everyone was aware I wasn't going in. And the seller went in, and we were kind of joking, like, crisscross applesauce when you were a kid and you would sit with your legs crossed. We're doing that now with our hands, where we're kind of trying to remember to put them underneath our arms with both hands under our arms. And not touching anything. And so she literally, I opened the door. I had gloves on. I opened the door. She walked in. She went through the home. The seller was really sweet and left her a note right on the counter that she looked over and read, didn't even take it. And then she went up the stairs, checked all of the rooms, checked everything over, and then came back out. She was in and out very quickly. It's a newer home too, so she didn't test anything, but again, she's going to have the opportunity to go back in the house again because there's a post occupancy. But it was just very quick. And the funny thing is, we took a picture. We're going to post it, I think, later today. But the lender, she hadn't met the lender because it was all virtual. And we took a closing day picture of all three of us in our cars, all in a row.
I think you
So-
posted that, did you not?
Did we post it? I don't know. I think the lender might have posted it. I'm not sure if we posted that yet.
Yeah, the lender posted it.
So we're going to post it today because it actually closed yesterday afternoon. And the settlement agent went to her, and they stayed 6 feet apart. She handed her the documents. They took a picture of her license and texted it over, and then she signed the documents. She got up and walked away. The settlement agent picked them back up, and everything was done. And that's how the closing happened. So, we're even, just even settlements, we're trying to make it as convenient as possible. What are we looking at on Melissa? Did she leave? Oh, I wasn't sure what we were looking at.
Well,
So-
I'm checking my daughter. She's been on an antibiotic for a UTI and just came out covered
Oh,
in hives.
oh gosh.
Covered.
Well, if you need to go take care of it, go do that. We don't want
I
to.
just did.
Okay.
Benadryl.
So AJ,
oh,
go ahead, Zach.
so
You just put her business out there.
I know, she just flipped me off. Thank you, Mom.
Seriously, Melissa, you have no.
We are very open here at Give Back Team. So
I know, but what am I don't, it's like, I'm not taking her anywhere. I can't. Support-
So, we keep saying we're in the Northern Virginia market. Our market is different than other markets, which I personally am experiencing, and we've all kind of heard me gripe about other markets and other areas. But so our typical timeline, what does that look like? And are you seeing any changes? We can go down everybody for this, because it would be nice to hear from sellers' perspectives too, Ginger. But Melissa, are you seeing any timeline changes, or AJ, and the actual contract itself? So typically our here in Northern Virginia where we are, it's a 30-day close.
Benadryl,
What are we seeing?
lots of water.
So to answer your question, Zach, at this present time, there are no delays.
what's that?
The lenders, I think one of our lenders chimed in about a week ago saying a lot of lenders have adapted to this and come up with unique ways to
You just gotta watch it. Two Benadryl.
do appraisals. Hey, Melissa, you want to mute your camera?
Oh, geez, sorry. I'm here.
Lenders have come up with different ways to do appraisals, whether that's desktop or whatever other mechanisms they have, or a drive-by appraisal. So they've adapted to that. As of right now, no delays in their closings. However, that's not to say next week or the week after that won't change. I was speaking to another good friend of mine who's a lender, and he was telling me about the VA and the FHA, any government-backed loans. There may be a slight delay coming up in the near future, simply because the secondary market aren't as apt to buy those loans. And I'm not well educated to speak on that, and I'm hoping that Scott jumps on and is able to maybe go into more detail. He's one of our lenders we work very closely with, but so there may be some changes coming down the line, but as it is today, on whatever day it is, there are no changes.
So to piggyback off that, no delays, and I'd agree with you. I'm not seeing delays in contracts as we're going through. And there's been Northern Virginia Association of Realtors established a clause and an addendum that protects our buyers and sellers right now if for any reason there is a delay. And we can tell you more about that if you want to reach out to us. But in addition, to piggyback off of that, while we're not seeing delays, what are you seeing, Ginger, on the seller side of things, and preparing for possible delays in the near future?
So what we're doing right now is we're actually, I think I mentioned this the other day, but for appraisers, if it does become like what AJ said, desktop or drive-by, we're over photographing the house so we can provide additional photos of the interior of the home if access isn't, able to be taken care of. But we're getting the homes on the market quickly. So instead of going into that coming soon, what we're doing right now is we're trying to get our photographers and videographers to get into the homes very quickly. And in addition, we're also trying to use things like Matterport, which is that 3D modeling. So it helps the buyer kind of glide through the house. So where, we have these beautiful videos and they're good. If we can do some 3D type of modeling, we're trying to add that into our photo shoots as well. And in fact, we're doing one on Sunday. So in preparation for the listing, I've gone and I've done, Zach, you and I, because you assist me with the listing paperwork. We did a virtual tour with the seller. We did a Zoom call where we went through all of the paperwork and the listing agreement and all of the listing stuff in preparation. I am a stager, so I gave some staging tips via Zoom call as they took us around. And we're trying to get homes on the market quickly, only because we don't know if we end up with a shelter in place situation, obviously, then everything will stop or slow down even more. So we're trying to get our homes on the market, quickly now, and then also over photographing it. From a time frame, we're seeing, instead of waiting like a week or two to prep a house, they're getting like 48 to 72 hours. We're getting the listing in the MLS if possible in a coming soon status. And if I can't do a drive-by to get a front photo, actually the sellers are doing it for us and snapping a photo and texting it to us so we can at least get it up and moving.
Yeah.
And then with regards to all the inspections and everything like that, to what AJ just said and Melissa, the home inspectors are going in. They're going in by themselves. We have one coming up on Monday. They request no one in the house, not even the buyers accompanying. They're going to shoot the photos of what they're going to call out on the inspection, so it's very clear for all parties. And the appraisers are trying to go in at the same time or piggybacking. Like, we're trying to get all the inspections and everything done all within the same window, because our sellers also don't have any place to go. And usually inspections are taking, a couple of hours, if not, 4 or 5. So
to caveat for what you're saying, G, if, as from a seller standpoint, if they're worried about a home inspector or appraiser going in by themselves, they are licensed and insured by the state of Virginia. So
yeah, and they're
Don't
going
worry
in
about
like it's great, because what I'm seeing when I'm getting the initial, hey, I'm the inspector, they're wearing gloves, they're wearing shoe covers. Some of them are wearing, coveralls. So they're prepared to touch as little as possible, and they're asking the sellers to leave all the lights on, all the blinds open, all the doors open, so that they're touching as few surfaces as possible as well. So everyone's really trying to make an effort to eliminate as much exposure and contact as possible, which is good.
So now back to as far as timelines go, are you seeing any delays on the seller side, or are you seeing things maybe speed up possibly just to prepare for any possible delays right now?
So what we're doing is we are speeding up every timeline we can, only because we don't know how long we will have, like to AJ's point, if there's a delay with the loans and things like that. So while we know that everything is still functioning in a normal, rhythmic pattern, we're trying to speed the tempo of the timelines up. But in some cases, there are sellers that are pushing the timelines out, or buyers that are also pushing the timelines out, where, they're saying, maybe we'll close in June, and hopefully in June, we'll all be able to be moving a lot more normally than we are now. So, but sellers are speeding up, and, my sellers are going under contract relatively quickly, and they're now looking and buying their homes of where they're going next. So, and they're going out of state, and those states are still being able to do business as well. So it looks like we're trying to keep the timelines pretty aggressive and keep things moving as fast as we can.
When on my contracts, like usually I do 30 days, I am bumping it the extra 5 business days when I'm writing right now.
But we do have
a little bit
of extra time.
Yep.
And we do have it's for Northern Virginia, we have an addendum, what Zach mentioned. It is part of our NVIR contract addendums now, and it's for COVID-19 specifically. And it is giving the sellers and the buyers protection, with regards to if timeframes have to slide due to someone being affected directly by it. So, we like what Zach said, we're happy to discuss that, on a one-on-one call with you, what the implications of that is. And we're trying to make sure that all of our contracts are protected with that too, so that if someone does end up unfortunately becoming ill and unable to perform, that there's a way that we can still, work things moving forward for everybody.
All right, can we talk about some fun stuff now? It's Friday.
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Benny's Pizza sounds really delicious right about now. Thanks, Dad.
So we always circle
up
back to food in this group. We're all about food.
Well, last night for dinner, I made steak, mashed potatoes, Brussels sprouts, a beautiful salad, and someone else wanted chicken Alfredo with pasta.
Thanks for the invite.
My goodness, there's like a gourmet kitchen going on at the Longton household.
And let me just tell you this, the 3-ingredient beer bread.
Did you make it?
Did I make it? I made it.
And inhaled it.
Here, 3 cups of flour and a half cup of sugar. And then at 35 minutes, dump a little bit of butter over the top, and then another 10 minutes. And then I made it, and then I sliced the big piece off for Jim off the end and buttered it nice to bring it to him and dropped it on the floor.
It wasn't meant to be
here.
And then he was looking at me, and I picked it up, cleaned up the mess on the floor, and everyone in the kitchen was giggling. They're like, "Whose was that?" I'm like, "Daddy's."
Dad.
I only have
You were
10%
sitting here and
left on
he
my
was-
battery on my phone.
But Julie's like, "Are you going to give that to him?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's kind of been a jerk, no?"
So last night we were sitting here and I'm like, I don't know what to make for dinner. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do. He's like, let's just order out. So I've got some Olive Garden breadsticks here.
Ooh, those are good.
Those are good.
So
Some
good.
tomato soup with that would be delicious.
So they have a pasta fagioli and it's so good. But I will say, I am amazed at how fast restaurants have totally changed.
BOGO too. Olive Garden is BOGO.
Yep, that's what we did. We did the buy one, take one.
Well, wait a second though. You stole the show. I was talking.
Oh, here, watch this. Watch this.
Oh, we know
Yes,
Melissa's
yes.
soft
Did
point
you
of
just
pizza.
mute her?
Hey, look at that.
Oh boy, how do I do that, Sam?
Melissa, we can still hear you. We just can't see you.
What did she do?
Oh my God.
So I threw that piece of bread away and got Jim a new one. But so then that was demolished, and then Samantha came out hours later and was like, she wanted to make brownies. And I had just spent 2 hours cleaning the kitchen again. I'm like, no brownies, but I will make you another loaf of bread. So we made the bread again, and I put Hershey's syrup in it.
Oh,
With Ghirardelli chocolate chips. I did it, not you. It was beautiful.
Somebody just threw you under the bus, I think.
under the bus.
All right, so 1:30, Benny's. Anybody?
What time is it now?
It's 12
almost
o'clock. I gotta
12.
jump
Let me
off
look
because
at
my
the
phone's about to
calendar. I
die.
might have an appointment.
Will you bring me Benny's?
I might, we'll have to go on sidebar on this one. So, okay. So, just long story short, yesterday we did Chipotle and they do drive by. You can pick it up or they will deliver. We did that for the first time. Because yesterday, as you guys know, it was my husband's birthday and he is helping his parents move up in Connecticut. So we were solo last night for dinner and it was actually kind of nice because I didn't cook. I let someone else do it, which was kind of a nice thing. So
You delivered it or did you go pick it up?
they picked it up. We did a drive-by. Like
Oh, okay.
they will come out with,
Curbside.
yeah, the curbside pickup. So
So
that's something.
at Olive Garden, they have little signs now. When you pull, like, it's an actual sign. You pull up and everyone has a little slot, and there's like up to 14. I was in number 11. So you call the number and you're like, I ordered, I'm in number 11. So then they just bring it out to you. And
That's
it's
awesome.
It's a seamless transaction.
Where's that?
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
All of their
So-
parking in front of them is just little slots and little numbers. When you get there, it says, please call this number, tell us what slot you're in, we'll bring it out to you.
Oh, that's awesome. So I know we've gone an hour. We try and keep it about that. I know AJ's phone's about to die and everyone's talking about Benny's Pizza. So we're going to end here. But just if you, again, are interested in rewatching this one or any of our other ones, you can find us on YouTube. Just go in your search bar and put the Give Back Team and you'll find us. But I wanted to say too that we're going to be doing this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, coming live at 11, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we're going to have a topic and all of our normal chicanery that we're going to talk about. But we'll have a topic and maybe a special guest. And I'm hoping that next time maybe we will be able to get the lender on here too, because there's a lot going on. It's ever changing. But if there's a guest that you guys are interested in us bringing on that's real estate related, or even maybe, I don't know, not.
We need a
in
comedian to come on.
the Northern Virginia area, please let us know. And we're
We need
happy
Dave
to see.
Chappelle, Peter,
we-
somebody.
Yeah, give a shout out for Dave Chappelle. Let's see. Let's make that happen. Or I'd still like to get a singer, but and also follow us on our new group. We started a group called The Human Connection, and we'd love for you to join us there. It's all about positivity, and that's what we're trying to bring you. A smile, a little information. What's that?
Sorry, I'm squirrel. I'm on Amazon, and so I'm about to place an order, listen, and check out. So, but it says deliver to this address, and I've never seen this before, or pick up in an Amazon locker. You have 20 of them that are close to your house.
Oh, that's cool.
So they go put it in a locker, and I guess you just go pick it up.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, I got to go. My phone's about to die. Bye.
Bye, Lizzie.
Bye, everyone.